Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Speak No Evil. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way, shall we? Just leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on Speak No Evil, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all out of the way, let's get into the review. So, Speak No Evil. This was a big movie for us movie fans coming out, not just because we were all very excited to see it. We were all just very excited that we no longer have to see that damn trailer in front of every movie moving forward. Now, a lot of people think I'm doing a bit when I say this. I am not kidding. When I went to go see Despicable Me 4, this trailer dropped, and I was just like, I thought I would get a break from it during this movie at least, but no, I did not. It just kept coming on and on and on to the point where you do kind of see everything in this movie. So if you have seen the trailer, you basically really got a good gist of how this movie is going to go from Act 1 to Act 2 to Act 3. But for those who don't and who have not seen the original, like I did not see the original, so it was still kind of somewhat raw to me, other than, me seeing the trailer 1,000 times. A couple goes on vacation and they meet this other couple while they're there, and this other couple, they have a good time together, they kind of, keep in each other's company. And then while they're on that vacation, they go, hey, maybe you should come visit us at some point. We live on the countryside. It'd be nice and fun. Even though they just met, and this couple's like, yeah, no, let's do that. That seems like a great time and very, very safe. But of course they get there, and then not everything seems as it seems. And in both versions, the message is very clear. It is very much a story of say what you mean, otherwise you might end up getting hurt, which is, I do think, is a lesson that everyone needs to learn, especially nowadays, which is probably why, the original was in 2022, and then there was an American remake in 2024. And I will say now, after watching both, because when I came out of the American version, I was very curious to see how this original was. I did put it on that same night. I got home, did my immediate reaction on TikTok, and then got to my TV, went to Amazon Prime, and got the movie, and I was ready to lock into it. Now, this movie, the American version, does do enough to have it stand on its own, even though they do a lot of the same scenes. I would say the first two acts are very, very similar, with the exception of two subplots that are incorporated in. One is given much more focus than the other regarding the children. I would say the children, for the most part, are kind of non-existent in the original version, while the kids are given a much bigger role in the American. And also there is a dynamic between our main husband and wife that is somewhat interesting, and also gives some leeway to this husband, who is honestly the most frustrating character ever. And honestly, it's kind of on the borderline of not likable at all, and given no respect. Now, this is no shot at the actor whatsoever. The actor, with the material that he was given, did the absolute best he could. All performers are really, really stellar in this movie, with, of course, James McAvoy being the absolute standout, who plays these types of characters with such fury and just chews up the scenery, where he's just such a douche, but also is so charismatic where you are kind of in awe of him, where I'm just kind of like, man, you need to be like the Joker in the new Batman movies. Not the Robert Pattinson one, but maybe the DCU one, because of how well he just plays crazy in these types of movies. But the dad. Look, this is a movie culminating around red flags, both this one and the American version, where, this one and the Dutch version, I should say, where, this couple is really just pushing the envelope, pushing the boundaries, and this couple's just like, oh, well, we don't want to be mean or anything like that. I don't care. As a husband, as a partner in general, I would say this, if my wife was letting this happen to me, but me, it seems like those instincts come in, hey, don't talk to my wife like that. Hey, don't do this. No, I don't. She's not going to do that. You see it in the trailer, right? Where the first night they're there, and he makes this duck, and it was established before that she's a vegetarian, and he's going and I'm just like, as a husband, I mean, there is somewhat of an attempt that you just go, No, she's not going to eat that. You just step up. And that's a lot of the time that you like with this father character, where in the original, and I'm going to try to not make so many comparisons, but it's really hard to now that I've seen both. So I did this to myself and anything. Where in the original, where, yeah, he is a little spineless. Because again, that is at the core what the lesson of the movie is that, this family, the mother and the father, are kind of spineless. And however, he's still like a character. He is still a person. He still stands up for himself sometimes, like, hey, look, here's just the situation. This guy doesn't have that whatsoever. It is just roll over. Well, I'm just kind of like, I don't respect you as a husband. I don't really respect you as a father. And I kind of don't really respect you as a guy. Again, as the character, not the actor. The actor did fine. And also it's that way with the daughter too, where it's just very, very frustrating. Also, look, the mother, played by Mackenzie Jones, she's, the one who's really carrying this family to make me somewhat care about them. Like, the kid, obviously I'm going to care about, she doesn't know much better. It is a child, but I do think the script needed a couple of more overseers, because there are some things where, like, this daughter is absolutely terrified. Absolutely terrified. And then in the next scene, she's like, can we go play? Yeah, let's stay a little bit longer. And it's just like, you were just freaking out about something, and now you're doing this. And then the mom, again, is the main one who's kind of like, hey, something's wrong here. We need to, like, get out of here. Something is wrong, but just continues to stay and doing all these things that really shoot herself in the foot, where this family is absolutely frustrating. Again, after watching both, I do think that is all by design, but it does make for a very frustrating watch. So if that is not something for you, I do not think this movie is going to be for you. Although James McAvoy, he is probably the reason why you're wanting to buy the ticket, right? You want to see him, just have this full on, toxic masculinity performance and go absolutely ape, and he absolutely does, and it is a very fun ride watching him alone. Now, the biggest difference between this and the original is the ending, the final act. While as the original goes very, very bleak and dark ending, this one is more traditional Hollywood, and it's fun. It's a very, very fun ending. While the original is kind of like a Hereditary, an A24 type finale. So depending on which one that you prefer, there on which one to watch, that's how I perceive it. I preferred the American ending more, even though I don't really like both endings, because they did so well setting the table, and then once it gets to this finale and the explanation as to why they are doing what they're doing, I just really feel like, man, we could have kept it simple. Where, again, doing the comparison, in the original they kept it simple. It was one line, and it's very eerie and bone chilling, kind of like in The Strangers. If you've seen the original Strangers, where they go, why are you doing this to us? And it's just one simple line of no explanation. It just goes, because you were home. And the line like that in the original is in this one, but then they keep going with it. I'm just like, no, you could just kept it simple there, and then get to the fun stuff. But yeah, overall, I cannot tell you that I do not recommend this movie overall, because at the end of the day, I had a lot of fun. I had a great time with it. Another thing that I was really, really taken back by in the most positive way is how much they were able to incorporate comedy into this movie as well. Very, very intentional stuff. Maybe not in the third act. Maybe in the third act we do start to get to laughing at the movie as opposed to with the movie. But in the first two acts, granted, James McAvoy is also making it work quite a bit, that there are moments where, the movie does take a beat for us to laugh, because, like, yeah, that is a funny, weird situation to be in. And it's pretty consistent throughout the movie, where I was like, man, way to go to, like, actually incorporate that, where this is like a fun ride. In a way, this feels like an event movie. This is really a movie that I think really does call for a crowd. Like I said, the marketing worked. Even though the trailer was played way too many times, it worked. It got enough eyes on it. Again, I was in a full crowd. It was a pretty decently young crowd too, where I was nervous. I was like, man, I'm not going to be able to pay attention to this movie because these younglings are just going to, make it about themselves. But no, once the movie started and once the movie got going, it does take a little bit to get really going. You could say it's a little bit of a slow burn. And this family just keeps making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. the crowd was into it and reacting with the movie. Now, maybe they were just as frustrated as me, but at the end, when the credits started rolling, some people clapped. And as I was walking out, someone was like, that was the worst movie I've ever seen. So it goes either way. But for me personally, where I rank it on the lemon scale, where it goes sour lemon, expired store-bought lemonade, store-bought lemonade, just lemonade, freshly squeezed lemonade, and strawberry lemonade at the very top, because that is the best kind of lemonade. I give Speak No Evil a lemonade. You know, there's a lot of good, there is a lot of bad. Maybe it's borderline store-bought lemonade, where like I didn't make it at home. But, you know, I went to the store, I bought a little cup, and, you know, it was just fine. It was a really fine movie. It's just, you know, our protagonist, again, I do believe it's by design for them to be super frustrating. It is sometimes really hard to watch, and you're just, like, making, like, you idiots. Also, speak up. Like, it just tell them, hey, don't do that. Because that really does what it comes down to. I think if this family just goes, don't do that. No, we're not going to do that. I think they probably don't get in the situation that they are in, but hey, you know, where's the fun in that, right? But yeah, do you plan on going to see Speak No Evil? Go down in the comment section, let me know. If you have seen it, let me know your thoughts about it down in the comments. And if you've seen both, let me know those as well. Let's have a nice little conversation about it. Leave a like if you did make it this far. I do greatly appreciate it. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.